Sometimes we hear coach, sometimes we hear mentor, sometimes we hear consultant, sometimes we hear therapist. What are the differences? And there are differences, right?
There are definitely differences. I like it when I'm at a whiteboard and I can just draw a line and put the coach here in the middle. And at one end we have therapists. And for different reasons, we need, different people need therapists in their life when there's something that we're working on, really from our past that is affecting who we are currently. It's really when we look to a therapist. And then a mentor is, sometimes in the same lineup as a coach in that same place, but a mentor is one that's really, the relationship is different because they're telling you about their experiences. They're kind of taking you under their wing to help you grow and to help you develop. And then at this other end over here, we have consultants. And a consultant is the one who basically, they listen and then they tell you, here is the solution to your problem, or they create a binder of the processes of here's the solution. Where a coach is somewhere in between those things, and the coach does have a relationship with you, or sometimes the consultant doesn't have a relationship with you. The coach does, but through that relationship, they're pulling out of you what's inside of you. And they're doing that through listening, through observing body language, nonverbals, picking up on the messages that you may not even be noticing in the patterns of how you speak and your language. And so they're there to help you pull out what's already inside of you, to come up with the solutions and the answers and the ahas that live inside.
And it's a matter of really bringing them to the surface, right? Letting them rise.
Yes.
And tapping into it all.
Right.
And that's what you're able to do.
Right. Who
would hire an executive coach? Is there a particular type of person or individual that would, or can anybody?
I can answer that question to who would work with us, that type of a person, because knowing people have different motivations for why they hire coaches, but we strive to work with people that are hungry to learn and grow and be developed no matter what level that they're at, understanding that leadership and who we are as people. I always tell people we are humans first before we have a title.
Right.
And that life and leadership, it's a journey that we're always on. We're always learning and growing and aspiring. So someone who's hungry for that is a good candidate for a coach.
And when you are searching out a coach, because obviously you've got an incredible background and then highly skilled team of experts that surround you, but what should somebody look for in a coach? Are there key things you really need to look for when you're seeking out a coach?
I think so. To some people, their certification and their education and their background is important, and I completely agree with that. Myself and all of our coaches are International Coaching Federation certified, so that's that is an important threshold to have that, because that proves that you've learned the proper coaching techniques to do it effectively, just like when we go to a doctor. They've learned the proper techniques to do what it is that they do.
Exactly,
But I think once we move beyond that, it's also important that there's a connection. You need to feel comfortable with that person who is coaching with you. You need to feel that they respect you and you respect them, so that there can be a good mutual relationship, but also that you feel safe, so that that coach can encourage you and inspire you, but can also challenge you and ask some probing questions to get you to think differently and look at the different paradigms and the different possibilities. And without trust and safety, it's hard to do that.
Trust is essential, isn't it? It's a big component to all of this.
It is.
I hope people will connect with you and your team at MSBCoach, because again, the perspective that you have, but also I think just the wealth of resource that you have, the time's been put in. And it's important. What if somebody is watching this and now they're really encouraged by this and they are going to make that move? What would be something you would say to them, maybe leave us with, to encourage them to make that connection? Not just listen to all of this and say, oh, that sounds so nice, but take that next step, which can always be the hardest step.
Right. So the next step would be a conversation. And we make it very comfortable. So whether you live nearby where our headquarters are and we can meet in person, or we can have a conversation over the phone, and that goes to that what are you looking for? So when someone has a conversation with us, we're not trying to sell anything. We're trying to find out, what are you looking for? What are your needs? Are we a good fit for you, for what you need, and what's going to help you move to that next level? And then if we are, and both parties agree that it is a good fit, then we move into that next phase of engagement.